Hi Anti-Society, welcome back to the Antisocial Planet. Today we are checking out UAU Yoohyeon's Sacrifice fan cam. Everyone take a breath now because we're not getting a little break before we launch immediately into her dancing. And we all know how she's dancing, okay? So I feel like this one's gonna be maybe the hardest for me, considering when we went through the 2 months, I was like, they're all gonna be difficult. And then I got to Yoohyeon's and I was like, I had an actual moment of being genuinely flustered and I'm like, hang on a second. So hopefully I can keep my Delulu in check. Maybe go and touch some grass after this. And this doesn't completely take me out because she smiled. It could happen. I tell you, this outfit is a lot. Like, she only has the one cutout in the music video, and then she was like, you know what? For the performances, 2. Just cuz. See, that step didn't need to be like that. Ma'am. I love that step back in though, that like da da, like the jitter to that step, and she does a really good job of activating on the drums coming in. For all of me, like, you know, being a fan, but also she does a great job. See right there, that da da, a little like almost like ticking motion to it. And then the power stance afterwards. Do we also walk off to get our mic? Because that's what Sua did, yeah. I guess we get a breath now. Who are we talking to at the... Ooh, the way that she walks in, that like step, step, and then she drags her toe. Again, a little musicality in the way that they're even just walking around. Was it just a timing thing or was it a style thing? Ma'am. Ma'am. No further comment. Look, science, don't worry about it. Ma'am, do not come hither me. She really doesn't need to dance like that while singing those lyrics. Unnecessary. She does it smooth though, shifting her weight. Do not smile and come hither me. Thank you. Do not clock this camera too. I don't need that charisma. Her little smiles, like she knows. Okay, ma'am, just give me a second. Just give me a second. I was like, you picked up that cane very smooth, all things considering, with all of the props going on. And she didn't have to move a chair, because she was center. It's just interesting to see the, like, prop management. You don't need to do the head tilt thing, thank you. And then she grabs on the cane. Dang, she has to go off quite a bit to get props. We all know why this rewind is happening. Just smooth kick like everyone. And those boots too. I didn't notice her mic packs were like in the shorts she has on underneath. She did that flip around. The cane work is like really smooth, which is impressive. And then just steps into center. Ooh, that step over is really smooth too. Like the way that she shifts her weight, like at the hips over. Ooh. Hang on, the way that we tossed... See, okay, for all of me being like the cane management's really good, and it has been, I think that is the first time I've seen any point in this performance where the cane was like almost unwieldy and she caught it, but you can see the way that the bottom of it angles out and she has to like correct for it. I think that's the first time I've seen needing to correct for it, other than Dio also had a moment where I feel like she had to slow down her movement a little bit to get the timing right. But it's like these little tiny like adjustments you have to make in the moment, and obviously doing a great job because I didn't notice it in the full performance and I didn't notice it in like anyone else's fan cam. Only noticed it when I was focusing in on just her, and she corrected for it in the moment, right? Like it's not like she dropped her cane and couldn't get the timing. It was just like seeing that she almost went a little bit too far with that toss, which is interesting. Ton of practice to get to this smooth work though. Yeah, the bottom of it angles out a bit much, but she corrects for it. Uh-oh, the moment. Ma'am. Facial expressions. I know they're gonna show us again, but like, she does not need to be making those many faces. And just hitting these harmonies too, like, she's about to do this vocal. Ma'am. Look, just, she doesn't have to sound that good. She doesn't have to be dancing like that, especially when she's singing lyrics like that. All right? How many times do I have to say that in any of these performances? I'm like, ma'am, I know what words you're singing. You know what words you're singing, okay? When it comes to English, she knows. All right? No reason to be dancing like that while singing lyrics like that. The eyebrows don't need to be like that either. And the way that she just hits the, look, I know she's dancing, but she thins out her voice. It's a beautiful note. Ma'am, unnecessary. She hits that vocal with a little cry in her voice too. Well, dancing like this. And I was supposed to decide if I wanted to sacrifice my soul. Good silhouette there. The sassy walk away. And the little hair flip at the end. I mean, I know she's out of my league. She doesn't have to sit like that and prove it to me. Just unnecessary with the facial expressions. It's just shush, shush, shush. Okay, give me a second. Okay. She also does a little musicality there, like stepping in place that we got with Sua's. Interesting. She had so many vocals in this too, like all of them do these harmonies that are going on. Gorgeous notes from her. I love how she has like this belting tone when she's doing her part in the bridge, and then she just thins out her voice beautifully into that like upper like ad-lib harmony that she's doing. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And she doesn't need to be that cheeky with her facial expressions. I feel like she's definitely, again, like I was saying with Zio's, she's a little bit more locked in because there's more going on, right? So I like seeing that she has those moments of like her character coming through, especially when she's the focal point of the performance. But I feel like she's definitely a little more locked into everything that's happening. And again, went off stage a lot more in comparison to like Sua, right? Like Sua goes off stage once, gets her mic, and then she's on stage. That's a long time to be like in performance mode because anyone could be looking at you like the whole time, right? Like the fan cam's on you, so like you have to be completely in that performance the entirety of the time. Whereas Yoohyeon had some moments where she got to go off stage for a little bit and you can reset a bit before you have to go back on stage. And maybe I'm saying this as an introvert, but sometimes you just need a second to not be in performance mode and like, catch your breath of just like getting out of that locked in the whole time. There's like a certain focus that you have when you're performing. So it's exhausting to be on stage for a huge length of time. I've done it where you just have to be like on for a bunch of scenes like back to back. And that's speaking from plays because that's more of my experience. But having a huge amount of time on the stage, it gets exhausting just like being that focused for that long. So it's interesting to see who gets those moments of being off and her getting like props and things and bringing them on. But that's like its own technicalities, right? Like you have to make sure props are where they need to be at the right time and passing off props and ensuring that everything is at its mark, right? There's a different kind of focus that goes into that as well. Just a great performance, again, from all of them. So many technicalities to this. The fact that there are like a little like nitpicky things that I only noticed once I got a bit more like focused in on the performance really shows how much practice they put in, really shows how much like management they did in terms of like props, like the canes, the fact that they could do all those kickouts and nobody looked like they were getting tangled up in that movement. Wild, right? Like the fact that we were throwing canes and I'm like one moment where I was like, oh, she overdid that like a tiny bit and she recovered for it really well and fast and was able to still get the timing. That's wild to me. And like the chairs where they needed to be, I think there was like one time where it was like the chairs got like a little bit off balance, but if that's it, if that's the only thing I can be like pointing out, you've practiced a whole lot and you've gotten down the like management of this performance because there's so many little details in it besides just all of the harmonies and all of that and the persona of having to be very laid back in this performance. One thing I did notice in this one, I noticed it in Sua's, but I didn't want to point it out because I didn't know if it was like a mistake or if it was just like a marking thing for the stage, was the spotlights. We have the spotlight for Yoohyeon, we have the spotlight for Sua, and they're not centered in it. And I was like, I noticed that Sua wasn't quite centered, but I didn't want to point it out because sometimes it's just like the stage you're on, you don't get to choose what the spacing is, right? And how the like lights are set up. So I wasn't sure, especially like depending on the venue, how much control did they have over the lighting? Usually the lighting staff is like there for the venue and not necessarily like their staff. So I don't want to point that out as like a mistake for them specifically, but I also noticed that Yoohyeon is also not centered in it. So that makes me feel like it was probably just the way that the lights were set up, right? In the space, as opposed to like them being able to like turn those lights in a certain way, or they needed to be like in that placement for like other performances. So they had to just use what they could. I'm assuming it's like a technicality thing, but just like something that I noticed is like, again, a stage person, a performance person, but great performance from Yoohyeon, like great vocals, wonderful like moments of her getting to bring in some of that character, that cheekiness that she has in her performances, hit all of the beats, great like little musicality moments from her as well, and just a fantastic performance. I think like one of my favorites out of all the showcases I've watched, just because of the different elements in it. I think it unlocks the performance nerd part of my brain that I really appreciate, even though I don't know if it's my favorite song. It's difficult to tell. Every time I'm like, I have a favorite song, and then the next day I'm like, well, but definitely one of my favorite performances, and we'll go through the other ones and maybe I'll change my mind because, again, one day to the other, I'm like, no, this is the one I like the most. So I hope you enjoyed watching that along with me. You can click this playlist, goes to my previous reactions, or you can subscribe so next time I post a UAU or Dreamcatcher reaction. I will see you in the next video. Bye.